This is an Xbox. But is it really? In today's video, we'll take a look at the new Xbox ROG Ally X. Take a look at if this thing is worth the insane price point of $1,000 US. And most importantly, is this the next step in console handheld gaming, or just a really cool handheld PC? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Michael B, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the Xbox ROG Ally X, this brand new handheld that just released last week that is claiming to be the handheld Xbox. And the big fight in the community is this an Xbox? Is it not an Xbox? Well, let's take a look at that and see how it stacks up against other handhelds in the market. And should you pay the insane price of $1,000 US to add this handheld to your library? But before we get into that, I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for checking out the video. Guys, I always appreciate the support. If this is your first time to the channel, you like what you see, go ahead, subscribe, click the bell for notification, all that YouTube jazz. So here, guys, finally in my house is the Xbox ROG Ally X. This was supposed to come out on the 16th. Mine was delayed a day by Best Buy Canada, was delivered on the 17th. Now we can finally talk about it. So this does come in a pretty nice package. Of course, premium price. You expect premium packaging, and this comes in a very nice box, similar to what you get a high-end graphic card in. Alright, so let's open up this box and see what we get for $1,000. First, you're going to cut into the sides, remove the tape so you can finally open up the box. Inside, you're going to find a nice cover over your ROG Ally X, and it's going to be wrapped in a lot of plastic. It's going to be a little bit difficult to get off, I'm not going to lie to you, but rest assured this machine comes very well protected, and you're not going to have any issue with it when you take it out of the box. So when you do finally get the plastic off, you're going to be pretty impressed with the comfort and weight of the machine. Even though it is a big boy, it's pretty comfortable in your hands. All the buttons and sticks feel really good. It's got a really nice design on the front and the back. So let's take a look and see what else is included in the box. First thing you're going to find right on the front is this funny little paper or cardboard stand, which is kind of cheap considering how much you paid for the device itself. Then you're also going to find an included power charging cable. So it's the wall jack and the USB-C cable to connect into the device that's going to charge your ROG Ally X. Then from there, you're also going to find one more thing hidden in the cardboard, and that is in fact the instruction manual. And that's it, guys. That's all you get for your $1,000 US. So first off, you're probably saying, Mike, why are you interested in this handheld? Well, as time has gone on, I'm a man with an extremely young family. It's not always easy to get to my console, to my TV, and actually play it without somebody else using it or somebody requiring my time in a different room. So for the last little while, I found myself more and more interested in these gaming handhelds that let me experience the full console. Now, of course, the ROG Ally XBOX X did appeal to me right off the start because out of all the experiences I have, the one I'm really lacking on is from the Xbox. So that's what brought me into this. It is an Xbox, but of course, it's so much more, and that's also what drew me in. I'm a big Steam Deck user. I love my Steam Deck. However, the experience isn't everything it could be. The games only run at about 720p. There's some major graphical limitations, and there's some limitations on what games you can actually even play on the console. My hope, of course, with the Xbox ROG Ally X is that I'd be able to kind of bridge the gap between those games I can't play and the games that I can play that I think the experience is a little bit dulled by will look better on this more powerful piece of tech. So let's talk about what I really like with the Xbox ROG Ally X. First thing I've got to give it credit for is the actual screen. Now, this is a 1080p LCD screen. It is not OLED, and I'm a big OLED junkie. One of the biggest reasons I bought in again and got the Steam Deck OLED. It's another reason I have an OLED TV. I bought the Switch OLED. I love OLED. I love those deep blacks. I love those popping colors, but this still has a very good screen with some very sharp pictures, good resolution, good colors. Even though it's not OLED, it's still a pretty impressive screen, and the image looks great on it. One of the biggest factors, of course, with that is, of course, the heightened power with the system that allows the games to look sharper and look cleaner. I'm noticing visible difference from playing games on my Steam Deck that I'm also playing on the ROG Ally X, one of which, of course, is Forza Horizon 5. I'm a huge Forza junkie. This way, I can play it directly from my Game Pass library, and instead of the version I was playing on my Steam Deck, this one's in full 1080p. There's no graphical compromises with the cars, with the tracks, with the landscapes, with the characters. Everything looks great. Same as well, when you switch over to Steam, I'm playing games like Cyberpunk, which I can play on my Steam Deck, but just don't look as good because it doesn't have the beefy hardware enough to do it. So of course you get some graphical compromises with the way the character models looks, certain shaders, certain background images. Of course it looks good on Steam Deck, but it looks so much better on the Xbox ROG Ally X. Another thing I like, of course, is the improved form factor. Obviously, what Xbox and ROG have done here have taken notes from the PlayStation Portal. One of my favorite things about the Portal was how comfortable it was to use, because it's basically just a PlayStation DualSense controller cut in half with a screen between it. That's exactly what the ROG Ally X is as well. You've got those really comfortable grips from your Xbox controllers. It's got a little bit of texture on the underside of the grips. The triggers feel great, just like the regular Xbox controllers. It truly is a comfortable device to hold in your hands. Some people will notice that it's very beefy for a handheld. It even looks bigger than the Steam Deck, which some people find pretty heavy, but I can tell you this is actually really comfortable to hold in your hands, and even though it looks big and beefy, it's actually pretty light, but not light in the sense that it feels cheap. I will say, for a premium device, it is a little bit of a mixed bag. I love the triggers, which I just mentioned on the backside of the controller. I love the thumbsticks. I don't know if they're Hall effect, but they feel great, really precise, really work good. I love the little lighting effects on the outside of the thumbsticks, but you get into some other categories where it's not so great. For example, the D-pad on this controller isn't super. A lot of the 2D cross action platforming games that I have been playing on my Steam Deck, I'm probably going to keep playing on my Steam Deck and not use on this, because I don't really find the D-pad comfortable. I don't find it good. It feels kind of cheap, to be honest. The other thing that I'm a little down about is the actual buttons on the other side, your traditional Y, X, A, B. For some reason, these buttons don't feel great. They feel a little mushy, and for $1,000, I expect more of a premium button feel, kind of like actually on my Xbox controller. Another area I was super impressed by with the ROG Ally X was in terms of its audio. Now, usually the handhelds do have pretty good audio, although sometimes it can be a little bit low. The ROG XBOX Ally X has booming audio. The sounds are great coming from the device. It's really loud. It's really good. I think you guys are really going to be impressed by the sounds itself. You'll notice your two speakers right there on the front, and they sound fantastic. Guys, you're going to love it. The actual device has tons of ventilations as well. No matter how much I played it, I didn't feel the console getting hot. Even when charging, I didn't feel heat coming from it like I do from other devices like the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Steam Deck while I'm playing while charging. So with all that being said, is this an Xbox? Well, yes, I guess it is, because anything could be an Xbox. Hell, a computer could be an Xbox. I think the better question is this a console handheld or is this a PC handheld? Because when we get into some of the issues with this thing, I think that'll become evident. So even though I really like the comfort, the performance, the sound from the Xbox ROG Ally X, would I recommend this to people that aren't familiar with PC gaming? And sadly, the answer is no, because this is very much a PC handheld and not a console handheld. I will put this in comparison. The Steam Deck is considered to be a PC handheld, but I'll pick that up, log into Steam, and I'm already up and running my games. There's no other crap going on. You basically are directly in the Steam UI, but when you actually turn on your ROG Xbox, it's very clear this is a PC first and foremost. Even when I just turn on the device, you're going to notice that you have to log in like a normal PC, which is easy enough because it'll give you a prompt after you click the button on the middle, but that doesn't always work. Sometimes you need to bring up the keypad and actually type in your stuff. So while this is supposed to be a console handheld, it doesn't give you that impression right off the hop. And what's even more infuriating is when you're playing certain games, you're going to run into issues that console gamers aren't really familiar with. Take, for example, I was playing Silksong, Hollow Knight Silksong here a little bit earlier, and during the game kept mini crashing because there was a background operation running that was trying to install Armory Crate, which is the actual unit that this uses to control performance, the lighting in the unit, all the other stuff. If you've ever bought an Asus computer or an Asus laptop, you're familiar with Armory Crate. So that was trying to load in the background and it was screwing up the game. That's not something you would experience on a console, but it's something PC gamers would be pretty familiar with, background operations kind of cutting into the game. Another thing that's going to be pretty frustrating is when you go into certain games. Say, for example, I go into Steam, I'm trying to upload Cyberpunk 2077. There's unfortunately a separate launcher that has to run to actually start the game. So I hit play from my Xbox UI, which then brings me to the Steam thing to set it all up. And then before it'll start, I actually need to go into the CD Projekt Red launcher and hit the start button. Sometimes that won't come up. You'll be waiting for the game to upload and you'll be like, oh, it's not working. You actually have to hold down the Xbox button, scroll over to another window and find the appropriate launcher and hit it. This is something that, again, is going to frustrate console gamers to no end, but PC gamers, again, I've been doing this for a couple of years now, I'm pretty used to that experience. So guys, while I think this is probably one of the most impressive pieces of tech I have ever experienced in my entire life, I have had so much fun playing different Xbox games on this. The connection to Game Pass is awesome. Being able to download the new games. I mean, I'm going to be playing Outer Worlds 2 on this thing launch day. Like, that makes me so happy. We've got other amazing games coming up. Keeper just came out that I can dive into. I can get back into playing Expedition 33 on the couch in another room when I can't access my Xbox, or when my wife is using my account to play Dreamlight Valley, I can still play it on this. That's fantastic. But is this something I would recommend to people looking for a console experience? No, not by any means. This is plagued by every issue you've ever been afraid of with PC gaming, because at its core, it's a PC gaming handheld. But if you are okay with that, okay with learning those issues, the little foibles that come with PC gaming, you can overcome all that. This may just be the best handheld gaming device I've ever used in my life. But it's not a console. Is it an Xbox? Maybe. But is it an Xbox console handheld? Absolutely not. As people know, it doesn't play all Xbox games. It only plays the PC related games. Again, because it's a PC handheld. Anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on it. I'm very happy with the Xbox ROG Ally X. Of course, it's stupidly priced. It's crazy priced. But in terms of the quality and the performance for people that want those things like me, you're going to get everything you're hoping for. In terms of it being this amazing console handheld, it doesn't deliver. They really need to work more on this new Xbox UI they're coming up with, which I think could be really special, but it really needs to take over the device, kind of like how the Steam Deck's UI takes over that and allows you to do all this stuff while you don't even know Windows even exists. There's no other things in the background. That's really what needs to happen to bridge the gap between this being an amazing handheld PC to it being an amazing console handheld. So anyways, that's my opinion. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Did you pick up an Xbox ROG Ally X? Are you interested in one? Are you possibly thinking about picking one up? Let me know down below. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. This is Michael B. the Game Genie. I'll talk to you next time.